as Kevin Durant is now a member of the Phoenix Suns, as we bring in the great reporter, Sports Illustrated senior writer, Chris Mannix. How big of a surprise is this that Durant's now in Phoenix, Chris?
It's a pretty big surprise. The Nets, in making the Kyrie Irving trade, they have been operating like a team that, for at least the rest of this season, was trying to see what it could do with Kevin Durant. They had other offers for Irving, specifically with the Lakers, that might have brought back more in terms of draft capital. But the Mavericks deal, gave them NBA talent. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie, 18-point-per-game scorer. Dorian Finney-Smith is one of the best wing defenders in the NBA. So the plan in the aftermath of the Irving trade was to kind of try to see what they can do with Durant and a bunch of high-quality role players. That really changed in the last 24 hours, maybe less, with the Suns being the aggressor, with their new owner, Matt Ishbia, really wanted to make a splash and coming to the table with an offer for Kevin Durant that was more significant and gave the Nets more than what they wanted last summer. So, to get this deal done, I think you've got to give credit to the new ownership in Phoenix for really pushing to make something like this happen.
And they also didn't have to give up DeAndre Ayton. And I don't know if he wants to stay in Phoenix. He and Monty Williams have had their moments there, but
I just don't think the Nets wanted DeAndre Ayton. I really don't.
Okay.
I think they could have had DeAndre Ayton. I think they could have had DeAndre Ayton last year. Look, the player they wanted was Mikal Bridges. I mean, Mikal Bridges is a modern NBA talent.
Yeah.
He's a long wing player, maybe, one of the top 2 or 3 best defensive players in the league on a manageable contract for the next, I think, 4 years. They wanted Mikal Bridges, and they wanted every draft pick the Suns could give up. And that's exactly – they got exactly what they wanted in this deal.
All right, explain the Lakers situation. You don't get Kyrie. It felt like Darvin Ham and Russell Westbrook were playing nice until the other night when they had words with one another, and now he's in Utah. You get D'Angelo Russell, but I looked at the DraftKings odds to win it all. The Lakers' odds didn't change one bit. So how dangerous are the Lakers?
Well, they should have changed, because I think the Lakers did a fantastic job over the last week leading up to this trade deadline, beginning with acquiring Rui Hachimura, who kind of stabilizes that small forward position in the starting lineup. And then, Dan, they went out and finally realized that to build a successful team around LeBron James's talent, you need shooting. This is something that Miami did. This is something that Cleveland did. And for the last couple of years, it's the kind of thing the Lakers downplayed as being necessary with their signings and the trade of Russell Westbrook, or for Russell Westbrook. Now they get some guys, from Utah, like Malik Beasley. He can really shoot. Rui Hachimura, from specific spots on the floor, he can really shoot. D'Angelo Russell. In January, Russell shot 40% from three. This month, he's right around 43% from three. He's really coming alive with that jump shot. They are a decidedly better team now than they were a week and a half ago. And look, you don't want to use the cliche of you don't want to play LeBron in the playoffs. Well, LeBron with a healthy Anthony Davis and this group around him, with enough time to kind of come together, I think they've got it. They're going to be – I think they're going to be a really dangerous team in the postseason.
Explain to me how Kyrie and Luka work together.
I think they'll work fine offensively. Look, Kyrie made it work, albeit in a brief period, with James Harden and Kevin Durant, and with just Kevin Durant. Kyrie can play off the ball. He's an excellent, catch-and-shoot player. And there's only so many shots that Luka Doncic can take. And, look, I've been to several Mavericks games this year. You could see the frustration on the face of Luka at varying points during the games because he was having to do everything. Now, maybe the minutes can tick down a little bit. Maybe, he doesn't have to be, the 22-second per 24-second shot clock guy every single possession. Kyrie's going to take a lot of stress off him offensively. The problem is they are going to be deplorable defensively. Like, you've got Kyrie and Luka, who at best are average defenders. You've got Christian Wood still there for now, but we'll see what happens in the next 5 or 6 hours. Your three best offensive players are not good defensive players. And generally speaking, that's not a recipe for success in the postseason.
They're going to have to average 130 a game. They're going to have a, we're going to outscore you, because if you need a critical stop, that ain't happening with the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, it's also, Dan, I mean, not to swing it back to Phoenix, but that's kind of the question mark there, too, right? Like, they just traded away Bridges. Cam Johnson was a good player for them. And I don't really know what they're left with there. Like, there's some weird lineups they're going to have to throw out there. Now, they're going to score a lot of points, too. And Durant and Booker are as good a 1-2 punch in the NBA. Chris Paul is the right point guard to kind of meld all that together. But Chris Paul's not the defender he used to be. Kevin Durant's a good defender. Booker's a okay defender, good, average defender. Like, that's a team that I think, especially in the first couple of weeks of this experiment, is going to have some nights where they're giving up a lot of points.
Who would have thought Ben Simmons would be the last guy standing with the Nets? Do you think that they tried to trade him, include him in any trades?
Well, I don't. That's to say that's a poison pill in trades would be an understatement. There's no market for him. Like, what? There's none. Like, there's no market for him whatsoever. Like, he's physically not able to prove he can stay on the floor. When he's out there, he still won't shoot. He's not the defensive player that he used to be. He's got, one of the worst contracts now in the NBA, maybe the worst contract in the NBA. Nobody's acquiring him at the moment. Look, we say this all the time. Like, maybe now with a lesser role, Ben Simmons will play better. Maybe now with a bigger role, Ben Simmons will play better. But if you think about it, Dan, even on this now gutted Nets team, where do you rank Simmons in terms of best players? Like, fifth? He's still not among the top 5 or 6 guys, or maybe sixth or fifth or sixth on that roster right now. So the rebuilding of Ben Simmons is going to have to continue, because nobody out there was or is interested in trading for him.
I'll leave you with this. With the Suns making the move with Kevin Durant, your favorite right now in the NBA to win it all is?
I still think it's going to come out of the Eastern Conference, and I'd hedge a little bit, just say Boston or Milwaukee. I think those two teams have been the most consistent. I'd say Boston if Milwaukee didn't exist, because Boston, I think, beats everybody else, but they have problems with the Bucks and have had problems with the Bucks over the last couple of years. And I think Milwaukee's still got a deal to make, too, in the next few hours. They have been doing everything possible to extract Jay Crowder when he was with Phoenix. I think they're going to find a way to get him out of Brooklyn in some kind of deal, because the Nets have no use for him at this point. You put Jay Crowder, and if he's still able to play, having missed the entire season at a high level, that's going to be an upgrade for them. So it's 1 and 1A, Boston, Milwaukee to win the whole thing, however you want to rank them.
Always good to talk to you. We miss you, and we hope you're doing well, Chris.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. You don't. You never call. You never write. This is like, I even deleted Fritzy's number from my phone. I just saw his area code pop up. So, that is pandering, Dan. That's straight pandering.
We reached out to you earlier this season, and you weren't available.
No, I think I need you to make a whiteboard list of the NBA insiders you've called before me. Like, was I like the fourth guy on the list here?
Wait a minute, hold on.
A couple of NBA radio guys.
Let me ask. Hold on, Paulie. Do you know if Mannix was the first guy we called
today? Do you want me to be nice or want me to be truthful?
Be truthful.
Third.
Okay, you were third.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about heavy hitters like Woj and Chris Haynes. Those are big shots.
Oh, Chris Haynes.
Well, wait, easy. The Woj.
He knows Mannix knows we love him.
Sure, Fritzy, whatever. Like I said to Rich Eisen, I'm a Rich Eisen guy now. So I'm
like
team Rich Eisen.
Like officially Rich Eisen. Okay.
There's a T-shirt.
Why did you come on today then? If you're a Rich Eisen guy.
Just, to be respectful, and I enjoy our conversations. But
you just disrespected me by being respectful to me.
No, I'm pointing out the level of disrespect that's been directed at me.
Chris Haynes is on hold here. I gotta go.
He's been waiting like 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chris.
You called the wrong Chris.
Yeah, that's Chris Mannix. Chris Mannix, Sports Illustrated senior writer.